Go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mixtape Show. It is time for the Artist of the Week interview, brought to you by Mix Mafia DJs and brought to you by our sponsor, Applied Knowledge Apparel. And if you check out Applied Knowledge Apparel on the Instagram page, Applied Knowledge _, and you'll see, man, they got a message in everything that they do with their wear, man. And their motto is, "It's what you do with what you know." And right now, man, I got the honor and the privilege to talk to one of the Wu-Tang Killer Bees, you know what I mean? We got the Dawn of all Dawns. We got Cappadonna in the building, man. What's good? How you doing today, sir?
AKA Cappuccino the Great. You already know, man. I'm just sitting at the table with the Gambino's 8 right now. I'm cooling out, feeling mighty comfy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the big red chair.
Yeah.
You know, sitting up in the high office. Getting ready to drop this Metamorphosis, man.
Metamorphosis coming soon, man. Coming soon, man. Before we get to Metamorphosis, man, if you don't mind, man, like I said, I mentioned earlier, I'm a fan of the culture, fan of hip hop, man. I want you, if you don't mind, going back a little bit. And just some of the questions I've always had over the years, and now I get to sit down and talk to you about it, man. I can do this, you know what I'm saying? It's a one shot. So,
Okay.
so you know, the people, you know, you came back on, you was on the scene a little bit after the 36 Chambers dropped, and then Cappuccino and Cappadonna, that name was ringing bells. And when I got introduced to the darts, man, was Winter Wars, when that verse came out, man. And
wow,
man,
yeah, that was a nice additive to the admittance of my service to the clan.
Yeah.
I came in on Raekwon and Ghostface album, which was the Built for Cuban Links album.
Mm-hmm.
I made my debut on that with Ice Cream. And that later went on to become a single, a successful single at that. We had shot the video. Some of it was uptown, 122nd, 125th Street, way at the end there, the highway. We did some. We shot some in Queens,
Jamaica
at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That on Jamaica Avenue. That was a big highlight. Queens always had spectacular artists coming out of there. LL Cool J, Nas, and Mint the Juice Crew, many, many more. Dana Dane. So, that was an honor and a privilege to even be able to get that pass to do that out there in the Coliseum Mall like that. So that was a nice hit video, was a nice jingle. We had Meth on the hook right there. The Built for Cuban Links album in itself was a monumental project. One of the underground hip hop favorites, if I might say so myself. And I was just honored to be a part of that, which led me into the publishing deal. And I got an opportunity to drop an album myself, which was called The Pillage.
The Pillage.
Now, the Winter Wars rhyme, that one was on a movie soundtrack.
Don't Be a Menace.
That got picked up by by the movies. I'm not sure if Ghost had it on one of his albums, maybe.
Yeah.
As an added song or something, but that's where the song got its original popularity from the movie soundtrack. Don't Drink Gin and Juice in the Hood or something like that.
Yeah.
From quite a while ago in the early 90s. But yeah, man, it was just a definite boost in my life, and a winning aspect to my career.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback on that a little bit, I'm originally from Far Rock, so during the summer times, around that time period, I used to come down here to Dallas, where I'm at now. This is always my summer vacation kind of spot. You know how when Big Mama send you down to the country to spend the summertime to get you out of trouble. So that was me. Every summer they would send me down here to Dallas with my aunts.
Place.
Yeah.
Texas is a big place,
bro.
Yeah, so I fit like 3-4 New York.
So I remember when the ice cream video came out, right? And that scene where it was in the Coliseum, I was like, yo, I know exactly where that's at, right? So everybody was kind of looking at me like, country, like, what you talking about? What y'all talking about? And I was like, that's Jamaica Ave. I know where that's at. I know where that's at. So that's something that got me a lot of props because I was like, yo. So of course everybody at that age, they like, oh, so you know Wu-Tang? I'm like, no. We ain't gonna say all that now. We ain't gonna say that. But I know where they
do
shot.
know about the hot spot.
Exactly, man. So yeah, man, that was the joint. And then, like I said, I seen you guys come down here to Dallas for a few shows when the Cuban Links did the recent anniversary tour. Y'all was at the House of Blues. I was at the show for that. So, and I just remember playing your music, coming up, man, and cats used to be like, who's Cappadonna? Who's this cat, man? This dude is this ill, you know what I'm saying? And then it was a music video age and used to poppy wardrobe, you know what I mean? With the gear, man. You Ghost and Ray used to kill him on the gear, man. He used to have me spending all my fast food money trying to catch up.
And that also stems from, we always been fashionable in our time. As younger men in our day, fashion was part of the hip hop statement and culture. So it was a thing where Bally's and Slick Rick and other the Get Fresh crew and all of that, and Shark Skins and BVDs. It really wasn't too much about sagging your pants and all of that. It was about keeping your pants up and having a fly belt on. I mean, we used to wear Bill Blast, and just mock necks and turtlenecks and sheepskins and all of that meant a lot. And if you had any of those kind of items, even all the way down to the 8-ball jacket, you was considered a made man around our way, especially in the hot spots, they that Texas might not know about. New York is known for hot spots, Harlem, Brooklyn, Delancey Street, downtown Brooklyn, all of the shopping areas where the brothers go to get fresh and buy their gold teeth. Those are spots that only live brothers could even go to, because if you wasn't live like that, they'll snatch your coat, take your sneakers and all that, take your first day of school money and everything. You know what I'm saying? So that played a major role, in the fashion world as far as hip hop was concerned, and it trickled into the hip hop attire. So when Power, which is another offspring of our Wu-Tang members, group association and affiliates, he was able to come with the first hip hop clothing. As a matter of fact, he's in the Guinness Book of Records for having created the first hip hop clothing, which was Wu Wear.
Wu Wear, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you guys had the song for that.
A lot of people, thought that hip hop clothing was all the way around. Carl Kanai wasn't a hip hop artist. LL Cool J didn't create the FUBU line. He was just a model for the clothing. And then you got Naughty by Nature, they had t-shirts, but Wu-Tang, with the Wu Wear, we had we had earrings, man, watches, cologne, jeans,
headbands,
velour sweatsuits. So it was major. We had a store, you know what I mean, a Wu Wear store that people used to come all the way from Europe to come to Staten Island to come to the Wu Wear store, which also led to the Wu Wear song, which also gave me more props, and that's how I became Poppy Wardrobe King with the added on, admittance to that song right there, that Wu Wear song. And if you could pull that up today and see how old it was and what we was doing.
Yeah, man.
That song right there, that was RZA, me, and Method Man, and I was honored to be a part of that as well.
I used to always think it was dope how you especially you, Ghost, and Ray, how the trio, I used to rock the Wu Wear, and then you would still rock the polos and the Tommies, and even make that look fresh, just like the Wu Wear fresh equally. And like I said, man, it was hard to keep up with your cats, man. I had to spend a lot of money trying to get the little polo joints just because, you know what I mean? And now you're seeing that just like everything else, everything's coming back now. So you're starting to see the 90s inspired Tommy and polo come through. So I
Uh-huh.
so I know you still got some in the closet just waiting to break out every once in a while, right?
Oh man, all the time, man. And despite the discrepancies we have with Tommy Hilfiger
Mm-hmm.
and with Polo and the prejudiceness side
Mm-hmm.
of the fashion, Raekwon was one of the first ones to big up Tommy Hilfiger,
Mm-hmm.
put him on the map and cause the urban society to go and be a part of that fashion statement.
Mm-hmm.
The same way Ghost did with the Wallaby Clarks and started two-toning them. As a matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
we've met Mr. Clark and them and their sons, little Andy and them, who come to our shows, and that's what gave us a sort of advantage to be able to have leadership in the fashion world because them people. When they found out we was bigging them up like that, they was sending us boxes. You know what I'm saying, brother? So I know you probably was like, oh man, how I'm gonna keep up with them? But man, I don't think at that point it would have been possible for you to keep up,
Nah, not at
being
all.
that we getting free garments shipped to us just to put on and wear for them in the video. You know what I'm saying? It was just free promotions for them, but
Yeah.
we ain't look at it like we was like, oh, sweat, man, yo, this is dope. We getting boxes and stuff. You know what I mean? And it went on and on and on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still to this day, sometimes we get certain packages from certain people to flex and appeal to the generation of hip hop.
Yeah. So let me ask you this real quick with that and the power that you guys have and had and still have to this day, and your influence and all that. How quick was it when you realized that you bigging up these other brands? You had as what they call it now. They call it like what a influencer. So you guys were literally like the first kind of generation of influencers. How quick did you realize like, oh, these things that I'm spitting can actually bring in money out of music?
Well, word of mouth spread faster than the flu, man, and
Mm-hmm.
it was easy for us to get that kind of recognition. I mean, just being who we was and being so many of us, and we're from New York, which is the center base for hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop started in the Bronx, you know what I mean, and it just went worldwide from there. So New York been always like the hub for hip hop and fashion and the culture of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just was like a real easy process, and that's how we was able to establish, I mean, those kind of bonds and bonds with uh so many different companies and corporations. I mean, even when Run DMC came with my Adidas
Mm-hmm.
and Lee's and then you got Dapper Dan and things that he was able to do with the Louis Vuitton clothing and the Gucci clothing and Oshkosh Gosh and just make everything just bubble together. And it was like, come on, it was an unstoppable force
Yeah.
of creativity and recognition around the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So take me when you first hit the road, man. Your first time out the city. What was that experience like for you?
I mean, it was a culture shock, you know. Even as far as just going to LA, man, and
Mm-hmm.
that was like probably my first longest flight.
Mm.
LA is like a 5 hour flight, and then you got the time differentiality by 3 hours, which is they would be like maybe 3 hours behind us,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a whole different genre of energy, and it was kind of I want to say not fearful, but just a lack of trust. You know what I mean? I
Mm.
mean,
Yeah.
we had heard about LA, and from the TV, and at that time, in those mid '90s and all of that, gangbanging was 100% real
Yeah.
out there, and them colors, the red and the blue, we ain't know, it was probably we ain't know what to do or what to wear and
Mm.
where we was going, and yo, we was like, oh, we mean we going to LA, like right over there to
Yeah.
that part where that stuff is in the movies.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it was a lot, and that's what you gotta really get over first, man. Is the advertisement and the way that places are presented to you on TV and in the movies and
Mm.
on the news. You think of what you're seeing right there, and what's being presented to you is how a lot of things is, and sometimes, that's not even what it is. I mean, they do the same thing with Africa. They do the same thing with Europe. And, I think it's just a fear tactic that keeps us in fear to keep us from going to venture out and to, join forces and make those proper connects with other people and other cultures
Yeah.
to, further, educate the process of our creativity.
Yeah, yeah, I say that too when I was younger. Like I said, when me going back and forth to Dallas, after kind of really, tapping into the city and the people, I'll be like, hey man, y'all got the same issues we got. It's just, we just live in the buildings, and you guys live out here, spread out down here. But y'all go through the same struggles we go through. You know what I mean? And we just cousins. That's all it is. Just different time zone cousins. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's right, man. And we need each other to broaden and expand our horizons, man. Like even when we was introduced to South by Southwest, which is a
Down in
which is a
Austin.
big
Yeah,
Texas thing. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And all of the people from Texas come together. They flood the blocks and flocks and flocks and flocks of people. I mean, we doing back to back clubs on one block
Hmm.
and all of that. So that was definitely something. It reminded me kind of New Orleans on
Yeah,
Mighty Gras. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
And that was spectacular. Every place has different offerings of things to offer. You got the 420 with LA. You
Hmm.
got the European aspect of it. You got a lot of different dialects. I hear brothers rapping in German.
Hmm.
Again, it's the same thing like you said,
Hmm.
man. It's like they different people, but with the same issues.
Yeah, yeah, and
When I say yeah, they and it's just so real to hear that same aggression and that same underground feeling from somebody that don't even speak your language, but you could feel the energy of where they coming from.
yeah, yeah. So how did you feel when you first was say overseas, and they, again, they don't speak the English language that well, but they was rapping with you bar for bar? How did that make you feel on stage?
Man, it just made me feel accepted. It made me feel honorable. It made me feel like I was building bridges and boldly going where no man has gone before.
Hmm.
With with all just me, like just being myself and not having to change for nothing and getting my point across and being accepted to where somebody could not only relate but could also imitate that energy and bring it right back to me. So I mean, it's a give and take thing, man. And, that's something, I mean, some of our highest sales are in Europe. So
Hmm.
that's how well we was received.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of give and take, man, you about to give us this new project, man. What's the title of that joint again?
This project right here is called Black and Beautiful. I just dropped this one about maybe almost a good month or 3 weeks ago, something like that.
All right, all right, all right. Black and beautiful, man. The title sounds self-explanatory, but explain that to us. Well, why'd you title it Black and
Last
Beautiful?
week, it's just been so much going on with the Black Lives Matters. It just seems like it always been there.
Yeah.
It just needed somebody to bring it out, man. And I feel honored and I feel like I'm a good servant. I'm a servant for God. I'm a servant for the people, man, and to bring them clarity and closure to various issues and topics of life
Hmm.
that people might be dealing with. So this Black is Beautiful album and 12 songs right there. I mean, it's straight to the point. Nice, Afro American, nice Afro beat.
Mm.
My man Future produced the majority of the album. I got some good brothers on there from Staten Island, brothers on there from Massachusetts. Woo was for the children. I got Young Zeph in there. He produced some good tracks. One is called Today Was a Good Day,
Hmm.
which was inspired by Ice Cube. And I just feel like it's a good, well-rounded project.
Yeah, Yeah, and you guys, especially over the years, been like I said, you're part of my hip hop teachers of life. With the jewels that you guys dropped over the years. Um, how do you feel personally, man, when you look back and you going forward and you see people quoting certain joints that were educational and all that stuff? How does that make you feel in your heart? That you like you said, job well done. That you're a servant, for God and everything like that. Do you feel proud of that?
It, Yeah, man, it just makes me feel like a real asset to the collective, man. And it makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do
Mm-hmm.
with the art and the the gift that I was given. I'm not using it in vain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using it in a way that's beneficial to my brothers and sisters worldwide, black, white, Hispanic, brown, yellow, red. It doesn't even matter. It's the universal language. And I think that I'm very articulate with it. I'm creative, and my message is always the same.
Mm-hmm.
Consider all poor people acceptable. Don't oppress nor neglect anyone, which is an acronym for my name.
Mm-hmm.
And it just rings a good bell, man. And I think that the more people listen to me, the more they're gonna get the message.
Yeah.
And I'm a messenger, just like my other brothers who came before me and paved the way and made it possible for me to be here. Big Daddy Kane,
Mm-hmm.
Rakim, I mean, brand Nubians, brothers on all levels and all sorts. LL Cool J is so many different sides to the story, man. But it's many different ways to tell it.
Yeah, yeah, and you've been in the game for a minute, man. Did you ever have a time where you was just kind of a little not burned out, but just kind of like had to take a step back and just kind of refresh and just kind of regroup?
I won't say burnt out, but there's times when I was a little frustrated,
Mm-hmm.
because the music is also controlled by mainstream media,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a way of watering, mixing, diluting, and tampering with the underground sound, which came from an oppressed culture, and sometimes they turn it into something that it's not. And they use payola and all kind of other falsehood and slick tactics to to belittle the realness and then bring forth some garbage. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that it gets frustrating, it gets challenging.
Mm-hmm.
We get put on the back burner,
Mm-hmm.
and that also affects our lifestyle and way of living, and the means to feed our children sometimes. So we always got to remain tame and just be a positive force to reckon with, and that's why even through the pandemic and through the crisis and everything that's going on, I still took a pledge to get this music to the people, man. It's not about a label, it's about delivering the message.
Definitely, definitely, brother. Well, we definitely appreciate what you're doing, man. And this show and this platform is definitely here for the artists like yourself. We call you guys the golden era greats, and then we also have the independent artists. We call them the greats in the making. So we definitely
Mm.
love what you guys are doing, and we the door is always open, my brother, to come back to talk about anything you want about whatever you got going on. Even if you promoting water, come on back and let's talk about that, man.
Yeah, man, I definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? The Pillars was one of my great albums. I was, honored and pleasure to have delivered that
Mm-hmm.
back in the early '90s, and it was a gold album. It went gold in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's my ongoing success. That's the one that put me on the map. And
Yeah.
right now, I mean, here we are, 25 years later. I'm still giving it to them, and at the same time teaching the youth the truth.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm about to drop 3 albums.
Okay. Let's talk
So
about
so
those. Yeah.
this yeah. So the Black is Beautiful is just a introduction to the next two, which is the next one is called Show Me the Money.
Mm.
I'm gonna try to get that to you as early as a one month to 2 months,
Oh.
and then in the next 1 month to 2 months, I'm gonna drop the Al Kappa Chemist
Oh.
joint, which is pretty much deep, dirty, underground, hardcore. A little bit of a little bit more gothic compared to my simple minded messages.
Yeah.
This one is for the more aggressive youth
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
who 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 you can't talk to with a feather.
Yeah.
You need a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, to get into his mind. So I learned something from Farrakhan, man.
Mm.
Which is a great,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, person that I look up to, a great inspiration. And he said, man, you got to speak a language that the people understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't come speaking a Harvard tongue to somebody that's from the ghetto and who don't understand that kind of language.
Yeah,
I got to be able to relate to all people on all levels and become all things. And that's how you become a great messenger.
yeah, yeah. Dope, brother. Dope, man. Social media, man. What's the best way we can follow Cappadonna on the journey, man?
Man, you could look me up, man. You could look me up, official Cappadonna on Instagram, Facebook, Real Cappadonna. You can check me out on my site, GLF, www.glfent.com. GLF stands for God, Love, Family.
Hmm.
You can get that hard copy right now. You can go and check out some of my other albums. Also, it's available on all the sites and all the units. Other entities that you can go to enjoy that, man. I'm into the hard copies, man. With me, you always gonna be able to get something tangible.
Yes.
I also got the dog tags, Life Matters. I got the Capadon talk dog tags. I got the God Love Family T-shirts.
Nice.
I think that everybody should have one of those. There's nothing more powerful than God Love Family. That's what I chose to name my label. Of course, putting God first in everything you do, and everything else should be added on to you.
Yeah, man. You like me, man. As a DJ, I still love physical copies and I still love collecting vinyl. So I appreciate when artists still think about us. Out here.
That's right. That's right.
Dope, man. Well, Cappadonna, bro, we definitely appreciate you coming through, man. And like I said, the door's always open, brother. So whatever, holla out the Mix Mafia DJs family with Ange and your team and come on back through, man. And let's definitely do this again soon, all right?
I appreciate you, man. Hold your head high. Keep your
Yeah,
fist up. One
def-
time for your mind.
definitely. Oh, real quick. I know it's hard to answer this one, man. What's Kappa's favorite verse, man? What's one of your most fun verses that you put out there?
Oh, that would definitely be Winter Wars, man, because because at the end of the day, you heard other raps before,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
you kept waiting for the son of song.
Mm-hmm.
I keep dance all strong. That's the way we do it, man. So big up to everybody, man, that paved the way, and let's keep doing what we doing. Black lives always mattered, man, as well as all other life on the earth, man. This is God's green earth. To this we come, into the earth we shall return.
There we
One
go.
love, man. Peace
Well,
to the gods and the earths.
peace to you, brother. Have a good time, all right? We'll be right back.